Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into something absolutely critical: how we grow our food. We're going to look at the huge global pressures we're all facing, and then zoom in on this incredible nexus of technology and money that's literally creating a blueprint for the future. And it's happening in Florida, of all places. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the huge global challenge, the big why. Then, we'll look at the two forces driving the innovation. After that, we'll see where this is all coming together, connect the dots on automation, and finally explore what this really means for the farm of tomorrow.
All right, let's set the stage. To really get this story, you first have to understand the immense, and I mean immense, pressure on our global food system.
Okay, first up, the fundamental challenge: population. By 2050, we're talking about nearly 10 billion people on this planet. Now, that's not just a number on a slide, right? That is a global mandate. It means we absolutely have to figure out how to be more productive and way more resilient in how we grow our food. And here's the kicker. This is all happening at the exact same time climate change is threatening to slash crop yields. This quote from Professor Hang really puts it in perspective. We're not talking about small problems here. We're talking about a fundamental threat to our food security, to our daily bread, or breakfast, in this case. So with a challenge that big, how in the world are we supposed to respond? Well, let's look at the two engines of innovation that are really powering the solution.
So you've got two major players. On one side, you have public money. Think USDA grants. They're the ones planting the seeds, you know? They fund the really early stage, high-risk science that might not have an immediate payout. But then on the other side, you have venture capital. And that's the rocket fuel. It comes in, finds the most promising ideas, and just pours money on them to scale up like yesterday.
And this slide shows you how beautifully that system works. The USDA's program here creates this perfect pipeline. Phase 1 is just proving the concept works. Phase 2 is about building a real prototype. And Phase 3, that's the crucial handoff to private investors for that final push into the real world. It's this incredibly smart path from a lab bench straight to a farm field. And that private investment, it's not just a trickle, it is a tidal wave. The ag tech market is on track to more than double in just 6 years. We're talking going from about $12 billion to a whopping $30 billion. That tells you everything you need to know about where investors think the future is headed. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. You've got these two powerful forces, public grants and private cash, and they are converging with incredible energy in one specific spot. Think about it. Florida has this massive farming industry, an insane diversity of over 300 specialty crops, and a world-class research engine at the University of Florida. It's basically becoming a living laboratory for the future of farming. And when you add in things like the new F300 Ag Food Tech Park, you've got the perfect recipe for an innovation explosion. And get this, Florida isn't just hoping this happens. They are actively building the workforce for it. New state programs are training the next generation in everything from operating drones to smart irrigation. They're making sure that when these futuristic farms come online, they'll have the skilled people ready to run them.
And the vision here is so much bigger than just better farming. They're calling it a rural renaissance. The whole idea is to turn these rural areas into hubs of innovation, creating high-tech, high-paying jobs, and basically revitalizing entire communities through technology.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. This is the climax of the story, the automation nexus. This is the point where all these different streams, federal grants, state programs, venture capital, they all flow together and point to one single solution. You want to know where this is all going? Just follow the money. I mean, look at this data. The two top spots for investment: precision agriculture and farm automation. You combine those, and you're looking at over $14 billion projected by 2026. Every single dollar is a bet on making farms smarter and more automated. So why this laser focus on automation? Well, it's simple. It's because automation is a silver bullet for some of agriculture's biggest headaches. It tackles labor shortages, it cranks up efficiency, and it saves precious resources like water. It is the key to unlocking the kind of productivity we desperately need. So who is actually turning all this investment cash into real-world solutions? This quote nails it. It's the startups. They're the agile, risk-taking little speedboats that can take a disruptive idea and run with it, turning it into something a farmer can actually use on the ground. And right back in Florida, you can see this whole system in action clear as day. You've got companies like Agriculture Intelligence, born out of the University of Florida, using AI for specialty crops. Then you have micro-nanotechnologies, which used a federal grant to develop solar-powered dryers. See, they're using a whole pipeline, from university brainpower to federal seed money. Okay, so what does this all mean? What does this perfect storm of policy, money, and technology actually look like for the farm of the future? Well, one of the biggest changes is going to be how farmers even get this tech. Forget buying $1 million robot. We're seeing the rise of robots as a service. Think of it like a subscription model. Farmers can lease the robotic services they need, making cutting-edge automation affordable for everyone, not just the giant mega farms.
And that brings us to the main takeaway of this whole explainer. This isn't just about a cool new gadget. It is about a systemic change. It's this powerful, intentional pipeline where public money takes the initial risk on new ideas, and then private money comes in to scale them up for the whole world. All of it aimed at solving one of the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With the government and private investors finally pulling in the exact same direction, the question isn't if our farms are going to be automated. The real question is, how fast is this revolution about to happen?